The building form most closely associated with New York City is the skyscraper, which has shifted many commercial and residential districts from low-rise to high-rise. Surrounded mostly by water, the city has amassed one of the largest and most varied collection of skyscrapers in the world. New York has architecturally significant buildings in a wide range of styles spanning distinct historical and cultural periods. These include the Woolworth Building 1913, an early Gothic revival skyscraper with large-scale Gothic architectural detail. The 1916 zoning resolution required setback in new buildings and restricted towers to a percentage of the lot size to allow sunlight to reach the streets below. 2. The Art Deco design of the Chrysler Building 1930 and Empire State Building 1931, with their tapered tops and steel spires, reflected the zoning requirements. The Chrysler Building is considered by many historians and architects to be one of New York's finest, with its distinctive ornamentation such as V-shaped lighting inserts capped by a steel spire at the tower's crown. Early influential examples of the international style in the United States are 330 West 42nd Street, 1931, and the Seagram Building 1958. The Condé Nast Building 2000 is an important example of green design in American skyscrapers. The character of New York's large residential districts is often defined by the elegant brownstone row houses, townhouses, and tenements that were built during a period of rapid expansion from 1870 to 1930. In contrast, New York City also has neighborhoods that are less densely populated and feature freestanding dwellings. In the outer boroughs, large single-family homes are common in various architectural styles, such as Tudor Revival and Victorian. Split-family homes are also widely available across the outer boroughs, for example in the Flushing area. Stone and brick became the city's building materials of choice after the construction of wood frame houses was limited in the aftermath of the Great Fire of 1835. Unlike Paris, which for centuries was built from its own limestone bedrock, New York has always drawn its building stone from a far-flung network of quarries, and its stone buildings have a variety of textures and hues. A distinctive feature of many of the city's buildings is the presence of wooden roof-mounted water towers. In the 19th century, the city required their installation on buildings higher than 6 stories to prevent the need for excessively high water pressures at lower elevations, which could burst municipal water pipes. Garden apartments became popular during the 1920s in outlying areas, including Jackson Heights in Queens, which became more accessible with expansion of the subway. New York has 2 main concentrations of high-rise buildings, Midtown Manhattan and Lower Manhattan, each with its own uniquely recognizable skyline. Midtown Manhattan, the largest central business district in the world, is home to such notable buildings as the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and Citigroup Center, as well as the Rockefeller Center complex. Lower Manhattan comprises the 3rd largest central business district in the United States after Midtown and Chicago's Loop. Lower Manhattan was characterized by the omnipresence of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center from its completion in 1973 until its destruction in the September 11th attacks in 2001. In the first decade of the 21st century, Lower Manhattan saw reconstruction, which included one World Trade Center within the new World Trade Center complex. The downtown skyline received new designs from such architects as Santiago Calatrava and Frank Gehry. In 2010, a 749-foot, 228 meters, 43-story tower named 200 West Street was built for Goldman Sachs across the street from the World Trade Center site. New York City has a long history of tall buildings. It has been home to 10 buildings that have held the world's tallest fully habitable building title at some point in history, although half have since been demolished. The first building to bring the world's tallest title to New York was the New York World Building in 1890. Later, New York City was home to the world's tallest building for 75 continuous years, starting with the Park Row Building in 1899 and ending with One World Trade Center upon completion of the Sears Tower in 1974. The 1899 Park Row Building, one of the world's earliest skyscrapers, is still standing. The high-rise buildings of Brooklyn constitute a third, much smaller skyline. Downtown Brooklyn is also experiencing an extensive building boom, with new high-rise luxury residential towers, commercial space, and a new arena in the planning stages. The building boom in Brooklyn has had a great deal of opposition from local civic and environmental groups, which contend that Brooklyn needs to maintain its human scale. The borough of Queens has also been developing its own skyline in recent years with One Court Square, formerly the Citigroup building, currently the tallest building in NYC outside Manhattan, and the Queens West development of several residential towers along the East River waterfront. The 1916 zoning resolution required setback in new buildings and restricted towers to a percentage of the lot size to allow sunlight to reach the streets below. The skyscraper, which has shaped Manhattan's distinctive skyline, has been closely associated with New York City's identity since the end of the 19th century. From 1890 to 1973, the title of world's tallest building resided continually in Manhattan, with a gap between 1894 and 1908, when the title was held by Philadelphia City Hall, with 8 different buildings holding the title. The New York World Building on Park Row was the first to take the title in 1890, standing 309 feet (94 meters) until 1955, when it was demolished to construct a new ramp to the Brooklyn Bridge. 16. The nearby Park Row Building, with its 29 stories standing 391 feet (119 meters) high, became the world's tallest office building when it opened in 1899.